Hey guys, if you see me look off, it's because I'm recording this on two different sources. Just in case something happens, let's talk about it. I don't want to do this. I wish I wasn't doing this. I cannot begin to tell you how much I wish I didn't have to do this. But I should do this. So, I didn't meet Shawn at the first ACW show he debuted at, because that wasn't San Antonio. I don't think I met him the first time he came to San Antonio with ACW, and that was in '07 if I'm not mistaken. Can't remember all the dates. I wrote some of them down. Yeah, 2007. So, my math is off right now. What, 14 years? Yeah, I met him, before I turned 20. So, maybe 13 years. I don't know. My math is off right now. The joke was, or at least the joke I made because I thought it was funny, was I was the only black dude in ACW, Anarchy Championship Wrestling. That was the joke. The one I made and the one I thought was hilarious. If I find a joke funny, I'm going to run it into the ground. It's just who I am. I remember Darren Childs coming up to me at the next San Antonio show and saying he had a surprise for me, but we wouldn't tell me what it was. So, it was a four-way match, I think. I looked it up on CageMatch.net, and so it was a four-way match, and Shawn and Vexx came out. And I think I just screamed, "Oh my God, it's a black guy!" And I don't even think I heard his name clearly enough because it was just like it was a black wrestler in ACW, and I think he was even a heel that night, but I could not boo him. I refused. No matter what he did, I was cheering for him. And then even after the show, we started talking, and I did not know at the time I was making a friend. Thought I was just meeting another wrestler who I thought was pretty cool. I got tons of stories with Shawn Vexx. Tons of stories. I got tons of memories. Tons of moments. I know what everyone's favorite was the sign war me and him had, where I called him out after he went heel, and he called me out right back. Guilty by association. That was one of the best nights. Because he warned me the night before I saw him at, I think it was BOW, was the night before San Antonio. And he wasn't wrestling on that show. He was just hanging out. He just asked me, "Are you going to ACW tomorrow?" I said, "Yeah, I'll be there." He said, "Oh, I got something for you." I was like, "Oh no. Oh no, what did he do?" He came up with that sign, and when I tell you that he went in that match a heel but left a face after that sign, for those of you who don't know what it says, I don't want to say it. It's kind of it's not vulgar, but it's inappropriate. The pictures are probably all over Facebook by now. I think even if I didn't post them, I'm sure somebody did. And yeah. And that was our friendship. It really was. It took a lot for me to cross the line with him, and I hope I never did. And I don't even know where the line was for him to cross it with me. I don't even think I had one, because of whatever joke he was gonna make, I was just going like, "Yeah, make the joke. I don't care." with a lot of wrestlers I know, it's like they're like, they're like, how far is too far, and I think all of them know, if you just keep it to making fun of me, I don't care. It's like, I think the closest to a line I can think of is probably what Shawn did, what Vexx did with that song was probably the closest to the line of actually insulting me as I can think of, and even that was hilarious. So I didn't even remotely care. So I didn't. So it was, you know, wrestlers I know, and they make jokes about me, I take it as a sign of appreciation. It means that I'm doing something right as a fan. I don't know what else to really say. I don't know how else to phrase this. I don't know how else to describe my friendship with Vex. I really don't. Um, I just know that I consider him a friend, and I can pretty safely say I think he considered me one too. And I'm not trying to prop myself up. Let me make that perfectly clear. I'm not trying to prop myself up as his best friend. I'm not trying to, say that I was his favorite fan or nothing. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. I just know who my friend was. There are some other stories that that are kind of personal that I don't know if I can tell. And there are stories that are pretty much known by everyone, as far as, like, I think, like, when he went heel, and how I had to have a look of utter betrayal, while I was also really impressed that he could go heel on us so quickly, and things like that. And then just the shouting matches we would get into back and forth, man. It was, when he was a heel, I think that was some of my best angry work as a fan. Well, between him and Gary J. Uh, man, so many memories. So many memories. I remember him winning the Young Guns title, which I knew was inevitable. He was going to be a champion. But I called it after watching him wrestle, like, the first few months in ACW. I knew he was going to be ACW heavyweight champion someday. I knew it. I knew he was going to win it. And when he did, I was probably the loudest cheering person in that whole venue. Because you couldn't tell me that there was a period you couldn't tell me that he wasn't the top 5 wrestlers in all of Texas. There was a time you could not convince me he wasn't. And if you wanted to argue with me, you were more than welcome to argue with me as long as you wanted to. You weren't going to change my mind. I remember the steel cage match he had with Evangelistico when it was career versus title. And Evangelistico, who is one of many people who I know does not get enough credit for what he does in the ring. I honestly, I haven't talked to him in so long. I don't know if he still wrestles or not. But I know, as far as what he did in ACW, he does not get enough credit. Him and the whole submission squad, between him and Pierre Abernathy, Davey Vega, Gary J. Even their time when they were teaming / feuding with Athena. Those 4 guys, just phenomenal in the ring, and they were the perfect, like, foils to Shawn Vexx. And that whole feud between Shawn and Evan was just the kind of stuff that you tell people about. And it says when you're talking about indie wrestling, you bring up feuds like that because it was better than anything that was on TV at the time, and the emotional weight of that match was better than anything that was going on in wrestling at that point to me, because I guess because they're also emotionally invested in it, because as fans you do. But that's the brilliance of it. Indie wrestling can do that. Everything changed for me Saturday morning. I was all prepared to start getting ready to go to Mission Pro. And then I get that message. feels really the same. It's really not. It's it's knowing you had such a good friend, and then when you realize that that friend's not there anymore, it feels like you didn't put in the time or the effort to the friendship that they did. I felt that way a lot lately. Vexx was special though. My phrasing for him is he wasn't just one of the good ones. He was one of the best ones. Not perfect. No one is. But I've never seen someone own up to the person that he is, faults and all, and still be a very, very good person in his core than him. Scott Summers posted a video and I haven't watched it yet because, man, I know the people who are closest to him, I can't imagine what they're going through. I think I'm still in a state of shock. I haven't full on cried it out yet. Not like I know I'm going to. I know I'm going to. Finding all those pictures just brought back so many memories. And like I said, so many stories that I could tell for hours. But I may do another video for him sometime. But for now, all I can think of is songs like "See You Again" by Wiz Khalifa and Charlie Puth. Just, I'll see him again someday. And I'll tell him all about everything that I go through from this point on. I can't wait to see him again. I know I will. But if I may, I like to think, I literally just thought of this, when he got to heaven, when he walked through the gates, right before he did, I like to think in my imagination, God sending like the Archangel Michael and getting everyone's attention, say, normally we don't do this, everybody. But for this next entry, God said, the Heavenly Father said, go ahead and do it for him. And said, ladies and gentlemen, former two-time ACW heavyweight champion, the infamous Shawn Vexx. And then the opening of public service announcement from Jay-Z plays, and all of a sudden you hear, allow me to reintroduce myself. See, this is the kind of stuff I think is funny and would laugh at, and Shawn would probably roll his eyes and be like, will you shut up already? I'm really gonna miss him. For the infamous Shawn Vexx, Shantez Montgomery, my friend. Thank you just isn't enough. I love you just isn't enough. But I'll say it anyway. Thanks, Shawn. I love you, bro. And since you're already up there, go ahead and form a tag team with Eddie Guerrero. Because the Heavenly WrestleMania is going to be lit. Thanks for your time, everyone. You take care and be safe out there.